and show you this on here, but we can't. So we're live on YouTube and Facebook. We're just going to jump live on Instagram. Great, we're going live on Instagram now, and then we'll make sure. Hopefully you can hear okay, because we're just on a mic there, which might be a little bit echoey. So apologies if it sounds a little bit echoey. Oh, and Debbie's got the t-shirt on as well. Yay! So good morning, welcome. We are going to do a session this morning focusing a little bit more on movement, but obviously really incorporating good quality breathing and letting breathing guide the movement. I'm going to do the warm-up. I'm going to do the stripey warm-up, and then Elaine is going to do the session. So I'm just going to put the clock on so we can see what time it is. So find yourself in your comfortable space. Let's have a little bit of a shake out. So just shaking arms, shoulders, jumping about a little bit. If it's comfortable, as long as you've got no pain in the ankles or anything, just tapping the heels into the ground, getting some vibration going through the spine. Shaking out the shoulders and taking a nice, calm, full breath in through the nose and letting go. Bit of cleansing and clearing. Breath in and let go. Do one more cleansing and clearing breath. Breath in and let go. And then slowing it down, slowing it down, slowing it down. Just opening up the shoulders, palms facing forwards. Just making sure you're nice and stable and supported on the ground. So maybe about shoulder width apart on the feet. Connecting to the ground through the heels, and then just lengthening up to the sky through the crown. Have in mind throughout the whole session actually where we need to be strong, that strength through the spine, but also where we can soften. So we don't need any tension in the face, we don't need any tension in the shoulders or the arms. Just relax the shoulders, palms facing forwards. And then moving into knocking. So rotating from the hips and the waist. Gentle breath in and out through the nose. Visualizing the spine as that central axis that you're rotating around. Remember, the neck is part of the spine as well, which is why it's nice to think of just very gently lifting through the crown, as if you're being lifted by a string through the crown of the head. Shoulders relaxed, between the shoulder blades relaxed. And then if it feels, excuse me, if it feels comfortable, again without forcing, without straining, we're just glancing a little bit further behind you. This is where it's important to keep that spine long and lengthened. If that feels uncomfortable, if there's any pain anywhere, just keep doing the usual one, just forwards and just glancing side to side. But if it feels good, giving yourself that extra little bit of a twist coming back, just generally forwards and slowing it down into water waves. Really slow it down. Feel that air running through the fingers, over the skin. If you've got t-shirts on, you can feel it on the arms. Even legs if you've got shorts on. If you're outside like Julie is, it looks beautiful. So sense that air flowing over the body. Notice what happens with the breath as we slow the movement too. Take a stand. Let's hold that little chi ball and get a little bit of movement there if you want to. You can do a little bit of balancing, a little bit of rotation. What's nice about this is you're just getting that movement through the shoulders, the elbows. You can make it smaller, you can make it a little bit bigger. Do like a little pulsation. And then spinal cord. Taking the hips back a little bit, opening up the chest when we're lifting from the sternum, lifting your heart towards the sky, then you're tucking your tailbone underneath, rounding the back. Here, we're breathing with the movement, but we're still keeping that breath light and slow and soft. So as we expand, we're breathing in, very gentle through the nose, quiet through the nose. As we curl up into a little ball, we breathe out. Gentle inhale. Gentle exhale. And this is where you find your rhythm. So follow your rhythm. You don't need to follow me or anybody on screen. Just follow your rhythm. Keep it smooth. Let's just, on the next inhale, just rotate to one side and do a couple of breaths up and down that side. Still getting that tilt through the pelvis. When you've done a couple of breaths on that side, you just breathe in, down, up the side and then out down the center. And then we just go to the other side, a couple of breaths. The other side. And then out, down, center. And we're just going to stand for a moment at the top. We're just going to open the chest and stand with our palms facing forward. So it's almost like I surrender position there. If you start to feel a little bit lightheaded or dizzy, just bring the arms down. But if you're comfortable with that, here's a little start to our hanging challenge. So just having the arms lifted, keep the ribs in the body, so make sure we're not forcing those ribs out. Keep nice and heavy on the shoulders, bring the shoulders down, and just breathe easy. Where do we need to be strong? Where can we soften? And then bringing your arms down, a little bit dog wags the tail, parallel to the floor with the hips, with the pelvis, and then just letting that spine wave. I always get a crunch from my neck every time I do this one, feels good. just when you thought you were nice and relaxed, I'll give it to Elaine.
Brilliant.
Thanks, Elaine. And I'm just going to open the blinds because
morning, everybody. So yeah, obviously anything we do, obviously we're on screen, so just please take care of yourselves. If anything you're doing feels a little bit intense and you want to step back, just please use your own common sense for what feels good for you this morning. So first of all, let's have our feet directly underneath our hips and feet parallel. So everything is facing in the same direction. Don't have the knees braced, but have the legs lengthened, and again feeling lengthened through the crown of the head. So imagine somebody's got a piece of string through the crown of the head that's gently pulling you up towards the sky if you're outside, or the ceiling if you're inside. Take both shoulder rolls back and down. Just do a few of these to get some movement through the shoulders. Both working together. As big a circle as you can. So really try and bring them forwards, up and around, and back and down. Just notice one side might feel a little bit easier. You might feel a few crunches. No, I do. And then change direction. See if you can bring them back before bringing them up and then bringing them forwards. So change direction, nice and slow. Yeah, just one more. Okay, good. Just give the shoulders a little bit of a shake and then just let them relax into their normal position. Let the arms be heavy down the side of the body. So we're going to start from top to bottom, a bit of a stretch, and then we'll be doing a bit more of active work. First of all, let's just take one ear to one shoulder, just feel a stretch through the side of the neck. So if you've got your right ear down towards your right shoulder, I'd like you to flex your left hand and push the heel of that hand down away from you. So obviously the opposite arm to the side that you're leaning, if that makes sense. Right ear is down to my right shoulder, but I've got my left hand pushing away and down towards the ground with the hand flexed. You should just notice that brings a deeper stretch in through the side of the neck. And you might feel a bit of a tingling through your arm. If you're really pulling your fingers up, you might feel a bit of a tingle through the back of the arm as well. It's just giving everything a little bit of a stretch. And then bring the head back up to centre and let that arm relax. And then take the head over to the opposite side. Feel a nice stretch or a crunch in Gray's case. And then flex the opposite hand and push the heel of that hand down towards the ground. Just feel that nice stretch through the side of the neck. Good, and then relax and come back up to centre. So, if those who are online on Monday morning, we're just going to roll through the body first of all, but let's bring the arms up above our heads, fingertips reaching up towards the ceiling. I want you to imagine like you're like a puppet on a string, so everything that's reaching up has got strings attached to it, and we're going to gradually let things go. So we're going to work through our fingers, so let the fingers gently relax in towards the palms. As the hands come down, let the elbows start to soften. As your arms come down past your head, let your head and chin drop down towards your chest, and you're going to work your way through the spine, rolling forwards. Let the arms come down now, rolling through the spine, let the fingertips reach down towards the floor. Soften your knees as you roll over so that you're not pulling on your hamstrings. And then just hang heavy. Hang heavy here upside down. Give your head a little bit of a shake. Is your head heavy and relaxed? Take a breath here, feeling the breath in the back of the rib cage. Breathing in. And breathing out. And then slowly uncurl, lengthen through your legs. Slowly uncurl, back up to standing, rolling through one vertebrae at a time. And then when you're up standing, just notice how your body feels. Hopefully nobody came up too quick and you don't feel too dizzy. Okay, we're just going to do some movement on our feet first of all before we start moving into things a little bit more active. So, keeping the feet where they are, parallel, keeping the arms nice and relaxed, keep lengthen through the body. Just peel one heel away from the floor. See how far you can push through the joints at the base of your toes. So you're really trying to activate that and lower it back down. And then the other foot, so take the other heel away. And again, one side may feel freer than the other. And bring it back down. A little bit of movement, a little bit of pace into it now. So we're going to keep alternating, so bring one heel up and place it back down. Other side, up and place it back down. Other side, switching it each time. So see if you can just also be mindful of where the direction that your knee is in. So your knee, you want in line with your foot, swapping sides. So we're not sort of changing direction with the knee at all, so you want everything in alignment, and down, up and down. So this time, keep the one, whichever foot you've got up, it doesn't matter, keep the heel up, and then join up on your toes with the other leg, and then swap. So you're going to kind of rise onto both toes, then place one heel down, she's just falling over. So you start to get that fluidity between the movements. So you're also testing the balance, but each time you land with one heel, really try and push through the arch of the other foot. So you're really working the base of the toes. Good. Just do a couple more. Good, and then just give everything a bit of a shape. The reason why I'm a little bit focused on the feet is because we use them all the time, and for when it comes to even things like walking, jumping, just general day-to-day stuff, if we really activate the muscles in our feet, that's also going to help protect it in the other joints above it, so you can really get some elasticity through the feet. So we're going to move into some sort of more functional movements now. What I'd like you to think about is when you take a step, see if you can go through the foot. So we're just going to take a step forwards, one leg, it doesn't really matter which one. Take a step forwards, a bit longer than you would do normally. And I just want you to then sit down, bend both knees. And this is where you might need to just do some adjusting at the end. So I'd like both knees bent. Try not to lean too far forwards on your front leg so that your weight is evenly placed. And we're just going to hold it here, so calm the breath. So again, just focus on the shoulders, hips, knees, everything facing forwards in one direction, still feeling lengthen through the crown of the head. Just hold it here. Calm through the breath. Just see if you can take a slight pelvis tilt underneath and see how that feels down the front of that back leg. You probably feel a little bit of a stronger stretch. Again, just do what is comfortable for you. Okay, now transfer your weight forwards onto that front leg. Just see if you can just gently lift that back leg off the floor. So your front leg is still slightly bent and you're just taking a bit of a balance. So you're taking that back leg off the floor just a couple of centimetres. Just notice how that supporting leg feels. You might wobble a bit and that's fine. Yeah, your ankles and your feet you might feel adjusting. Okay, now the test is bring that knee up. Crunch. That's my hip. Good, great balance going on. Brilliant. And then put the foot down. Great stuff. Now you've got to take a step back if you need more space because we're going to do it on the opposite side this time. So again, as you take your step forwards, just feel if you can feel lengthen through the foot. So sort of point your toe. And so as you take your step forwards, you go through the ball of the foot so you don't plonk forwards with your heel. Then soften both knees. So bend down into that. Small lunge, so it's not a huge lunge, it's just nice, the feet are fairly underneath you, but just make sure everything is parallel. Again, if you want to feel a bit more of a stretch through that back leg, slightly tilt the pelvis underneath and feel the stretch through the front of the thigh. Just hold it here. And again, try and stay calm with your breath. Try not to hold your breath. Good, now take your centre of gravity forward, so bring your weight over that supporting leg, the knee stays soft, and just find your balance. Just take that back foot off a little bit. And again, just notice, does one side feel easier than the other? Is one side a bit more wobbly? Totally normal. Good, and then lengthen through that supporting leg and bring the knee forwards. Balance, it's brilliant.
The camera's frozen, that's why.
Great stuff, and then place that foot down. Brilliant, just give everything a little bit of a shape. Really good balance work going on there, great stuff. So now, taking the feet a little bit wider, so a little bit wider than hip distance, and have your feet turned out to sort of 45 degrees this time, so not parallel with the feet, let the toes be out about 45 degrees. Imagine you've got a glass wall in front of you, a glass wall behind you, so you can't lean forwards or backwards. Lengthen through the crown of the head. I just want you to bend your knees. Okay, so the heels stay down on the ground. Bend your knees. Shoulders are over the hips, and just relax into it. And then what we're talking about here is activating, so just hip-wise, just those people that perhaps might have some pain in the hip, do what's comfortable for you. If you want to come up a little bit, that's absolutely fine. But the nice one for this is called like sort of hip openers. So what you want to do is have your knees in line with your feet. So if you squeeze through your glutes, that's where the rotation in your hip comes from. So that's why it's really important that we keep that strength, because everything from the waist down, we need our hips and knees and ankles to work well. So the strength that we can do in the muscles around the joints is really important. So squeeze through your glutes, just sit down into it and just see how it feels. If it becomes too much in your thighs, feel free to stand up, give your legs a bit of a shake. But if you can, whilst you're sat here, take one heel away and push through. So imagine you've got a low ceiling, so rather than coming up as you take your heel away, stay down and then peel one heel away, and just again try and push through that foot. But it will also at the same time provide a bit more of a stretch into the inside thigh. And then place that heel down. And then swap sides, lift the other heel away. Place it back down. Changing sides, just do a couple more. If it's too intense, feel free to come up. Okay, alternate each side one more time. Good, and then come up. And down, good. And then as you stand up, think of pushing through your heels to activate your inside thighs as you come up. Okay, hope everyone's feeling right. Just give your legs a little bit of a shake. Okay, then we're going to get a bit of a movement side to side. So this time, legs a little bit wider than before and parallel. So toes facing forwards, wider stance. Again, just keeping everything nice and relaxed through the upper body. Just want you to bend one knee. So the leg that you bend, keep the heel on the ground. Just notice how that feels. Do you get a little bit of a stretch through the back of the ankle or around the Achilles on that side, and then come across to the other side? Good, and we're going to get this movement going. So what I'd like you to think about as well is keeping your shoulders over your hips. So when we go side to side, the body still stays straight at the moment, because we're going to introduce some movement in a minute. So at the moment, it's all of the action is coming from your waist and below. So we're just going to rock from side to side. So it's similar to dog wags the tail, but obviously we're in a wider stance. But I want the movement stays parallel, so your hips stay parallel, shoulders are above the hips. Just feel that movement side to side. Try and bend the knees as much as you can, so you're really activating your legs and hips this morning. Good, and then what I want you to imagine now is that you've got two fruit trees, one's either side of you. You're going to reach across, so if I'm bending my left leg, with my right arm, I'm going to reach across and let that arm come down, and then I'm going to swap sides. So you reach, let the arm swing down, reach, let the arm swing down. So again, in your own time, in your own pace, but just really a bit of rotation, but because you're working through your legs, you're keeping the waist and below parallel, but you're getting that rotation through the upper body as well as the extension. If you really reach, you should feel a stretch through the side of the body as well. Great job. Brilliant. Couple more. Good, and then just standing up and bring your feet in a little bit so they're shoulder height, and just relax for a moment. Hopefully you're calm through the breath. Brilliant. So now let's keeping the feet shoulder width apart, toes facing forwards. We're going to lengthen through the side of the body, so bring both arms right up above the head, fingertips lengthened, keeping that nice space between your shoulders and your ear, so you haven't brought your shoulders up. You've got a nice gap between your ear and shoulders. Both fingertips, so you're going to keep the arms parallel, and again, only go as far as is comfortable for you. I want you to imagine where you've got where the ceiling meets the wall, or who's outside? Julie, if you're outside. It's sort of like a diagonal stretch, so you want both arms to stay where they are. Imagine you're in cement from your waist and below, and you're just going to lengthen both sides of the body to the diagonal corner. So it's not a big side bend, it's definite lengthening through both fingers, both arms, keeping the ribs calm, and then come back up to centre. And then up and over to the other side, so feel lengthened before you take the movement to the side. This can be quite intense when you've got both arms up in the air, so if you need to, you can also drop one arm down by the side of the body if that's more comfortable for you. But when you're lengthening through both sides, you're activating the whole of your core, basically. Let's have a go again. Lengthen up towards the ceiling before you come across to the diagonal. So whilst you're here, think about, are your shoulders relaxed? Are you calm, your ribs calm? Come back up to centre. And then last time, up and over to the other side. Lengthen through both sides of the body. Hips and below are nice and strong. Good. And then coming up and bringing the arms out to shoulder height with your palms facing forwards. Imagine somebody's got hold of your middle finger on each hand and they're pulling you from wall to wall. Really lengthen through the arms. Just notice how that might feel under the upper arm here. If you're really lengthening away again, you might feel that sense of tingling. Now a little bit of a stretch for hamstrings here, so again only go as far as it's comfortable for you. Lengthen through the crown of the head and imagine somebody's got a piece of string that they're pulling forward, so you're going to hinge from your hips forwards, keeping the arms out at shoulder height, and only go as far as is comfortable for you. You'll start to feel a stretch through the backs of your legs. Just hold it here and calm the breath, and just see if you can just relax into that stretch. Reaching from fingertip to fingertip, lengthening through the crown of the head. And then slightly soften your knees before coming up to standing. And let your arms come down. Good, and give everything a bit of a shake. Okay, one last balance before we close. So let's have the feet together. I want you to imagine you've got a zip that starts at your ankles all the way up your inside thighs. Okay, so you're going to try and glue your legs together, really activating your inside thighs. So for anyone that does yoga, this is going to be sort of the chair pose. So we're going to bring the arms up above our heads, parallel, palms facing each other. You're going to squeeze your knees together, bend the knees. Go as far as you can before you start tilting the body at all, but just go as far as you can without your heels coming away from the ground. Okay, so you really do get a nice stretch through your Achilles. Then when you can't go any further, imagine you're going to sit back onto an imaginary chair behind you. So let the pelvis just stand sideways so you can see. So you've gone as far as you can upright, so you get that nice stretch through your Achilles, and then let the pelvis come back and sit back onto that imaginary chair. You're squeezing through your knees and you're lengthening through your fingertips. And again, think about the rib cage being nice and calm, so try to relax in the breath, lengthen through the fingertips, squeeze the knees. And then on your next in-breath, coming up tall, stretching the legs. And then exhale, and let the arms come down. So what can seem like such a simple exercise is actually quite intense, yeah? So the key one with that, if you want to practice in between or doing anything any other time, is just go as far as you can in that vertical position first of all, because that's a really nice movement for the ankle and to get some mobility in the ankle before going back into the seated position. So it's just quite a nice one to practice on, because it just works the whole body, particularly if you're really lengthening through the fingertips all the way down through to the heels. it's pretty full on. You don't have to hold it for long, and I certainly noticed it starts to get a bit warmer. But thank you very much. I don't know if Grace got anything else to add.
Brilliant.
You done?
No, appreciate that. Thank you very much, Elaine.
Nice to see you all.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining, and we will see you back on Monday. Really appreciate that. We're going for a little run now, and the sun's gone in. Have a great rest of your day. Have a good weekend, and I will see you on Monday, where, as always, we'll be focusing a little bit more on the breath.
Thanks, Elaine.
See you. Nice to see you all.
Have a good
Bye.
weekend, everyone.
Bye.
For your birthday.
Thank you.